And one of the things I love is your theology of that we just have to live with mystery instead of having all the answers. We don't have all the answers yet.
Yeah.
One day we'll see more clearly, but right now we're looking through a mirror dimly. So how did you come to that position? Because obviously life is full of mysteries.
I think it's a treasure. I think to not know something and still be able to trust him is the evidence of a relationship.
Wonderful.
He loves questions. He loves me to pursue wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah.
And so I cry out to God for insight. But my obedience is never tied to understanding.
Right.
My obedience is tied to what he says. What does he say to do? That's all I need to know. The point is that the more I'm able to embrace mystery, the more he can trust me with revelation.
Yeah. It's really sad because there's so many people going through a hard time right now.
Yeah.
And they want answers, but Jesus himself said in John 16, in this world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer because I've overcome the world. So we know at the end we win. The kingdom of this world will become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ. So I really want to encourage those who are watching or going through a hard time. I just want to give you one word from 1 Thessalonians 5, in everything, give thanks, not for everything, but in the midst of it, worship, because that's what you did. And how did that help you? What happened? Because you said, I've experienced extraordinary grace since that period.
I have. It feels like I've been in this bubble of grace. Grace is that enabling presence of God.
Yeah.
What happens when you give praise? He occupies praise.
Yes.
He inhabits praise.
Right.
So the point is that if I navigate my tragedy well, it'll always lead me to an encounter with him. And the encounter is what heals me. Answers don't. Answers may satisfy my curiosity, but they don't heal brokenness. They don't heal despair. They don't heal any of that stuff. They just, and I believe we're supposed to pursue answers, but not hold him hostage to an answer.
Well, there's a negative side, knowledge puffs up. You could just think you know it, and when you really don't know it, but having an encounter is what transforms us.
That's true.
And so that's why love edifies, and may God give you an encounter with his love during your difficult time. Bill, I've been just so amazed at your legacy, your fifth generation pastor, not just a pastor, but a Pentecostal charismatic pastors on your father's side and four on your mom's side.
On my mom's,
And just talk about bringing up the next generation, because I feel there's a real concern for Gen Z. Barna came out with a study on the millennials, like only 8% have a biblical worldview. What could you tell the Christian parents are watching, they're concerned for the kids? What are some of the principles that was passed down to you by your parents and even your grandparents? First
of all, it starts with being authentic. That what you teach, what you preach, it's got to be authentic in the home. The way I treat my wife, the way I treat my children, the way we talk about people around the dinner table. I never ever heard my parents criticize another person. Whoa. We'd sit at the dinner table all those years, never once. My kids have never heard me do it because we just don't have that as our topic of conversation.
Yeah.
And so first of all, it's living authentically surrendered to Christ at home. So everything from my support of the Little League games to the youth nights, to whatever it might be, the youth camp, the spiritual and supposedly non-spiritual activities, is that they're all for him and about our delight as a family.
Right.
And when you do life authentically, then it gives kind of a foundation that you can build on. So we chose to make sure our children were exposed to world need, to crisis pain. We'd go to the dumps, Tijuana, bring the clothing, the blankets, the food. We kept them exposed to community, how we sacrificed to be in covenant relationships with people. So they were involved as children in relationships with other families.
Right.
And we kept them exposed to supernatural activities to make sure that not just what we were experiencing, but we would travel or we'd bring guests into the church where the miracles would take place, things that were beyond what we were accustomed to. The power of God was on display, the prophetic, we'd bring in the prophets. And so they had a constant diet of those kinds of things.
Right.
And it helps to set values. It helps to create a hunger for the authentic.
Right.